Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Beck and this is my crafty nook. Today we're going to do our first video of Vlogmas. This is my first Vlogmas. I have a small channel, so I'm excited to get started. We're going to start off Vlogmas with some self-care because there's a couple of videos that I've already made and I thought, why don't we get looking nice first, and then for the rest of Vlogmas we're going to be doing crafty stuff, so do not worry. Today is going to be a video on how I colored my hair. So I did just a natural brown. This was supposed to be pink, which we'll talk about in a second, purple and blue. I've washed it about 2 times. And to get the fashion colors, you do need to bleach your hair. And my hair has been bleached twice, so it's a little bit dry, but we still have some curl pattern. I've just washed it and styled it with some mousse. Down here's not too bad actually. Yeah, so I'm really happy with it. It's really nice. So today is the hair video. I'm going to be showing you how I re-bleached my hair. Before I had this color, I had already bleached it once. This is Frankie. I'm joined by Frankie and the dogs. Please don't scratch stuff. Frank! Frank! They can't be told, can they? Anyway, I had already bleached my hair from virgin hair, and it only went to a orangey color, and so you cannot put fashion colors over orange. You must bleach the hair to pale yellow. I used to have a book that I could show you all the colors and how it works, but I think I gave it to my other hairdresser friend, or I sold it to her, I'm not sure. So it was already bleached once, and because it only went to orange, then I colored it red. I'm going to put some photos in here, and unfortunately the photos I have, none of them are dried hair, but you'll be able to see it was pretty cool. And I also used the live colors, and that particular color was like pillar box red, like the English mailboxes, or like it was this kind of red. It was really nice, really bright. And they have another red which is called Fiery Embers, so also use that. So once it's bleached and you put the fashion colors on, as soon as they fade you can put it back on again. None of these colors are permanent. They're always going to fade in about 6 weeks, but you can reapply fashion colors because they're direct dyes. They do not go into like too deep into the hair shaft, and they don't really damage the hair. If you've already bleached your hair and it's quite damaged, they can actually add a little bit of condition and fill in the, damage in the pores a little bit. So I waited for that to fade right out. I probably waited like 12 weeks. And then in this video, I am bleaching again. I am only using 10 volume. Any more than that, like at the moment it's quite dry, but it's not a ramen noodle situation. So any more than that, any higher volume, a 20 or a 30, you're probably going to get a ramen noodle situation, which is just breakage and you have to cut it off. So I bleached it, I washed that out, and then I applied the color. Now the pink didn't take. I'm going to go get the box to show you, and there's an indication on the box that it might not have worked, which I saw, and I'll show it to you now and explain that. Alright, I've got the boxes. So we used Live Color Ultra Brights. This one is called Magnetic Purple, and as you can see, very rich color all the way to her roots. On the back it shows you, do your whole hair or just a little bit. And you see all these colors are pale yellow. You need pale yellow to get the color. Now on the pink, look at the photo. It's quite light here, it's brighter down here, and this is a bright. It's called Shocking Pink. They have another pink color which is a pastel pink, but it has not taken on this area of her head. Now I would say she's a natural blonde, and they have bleached her hair, but even up here where her hair looks it's probably pale yellow underneath, it's not that bright. You can see it is pink, but it's not very bright. But this did not go to pale yellow. I would say it was like a dark gold. And here on the back So I'd say it was probably a little darker than that, but it still didn't really take. And then the third color was Turquoise Temptation, and it was definitely same. You can see it's gone all the way to her roots. It's the same kind of brightness everywhere, and I would say that definitely, it did work. It's been washed a couple of times. So that is the 3 colors that I used. And the only one I'm not happy with is the pink. But as I say, we had kind of a indication that it might not work as well as the others. So let's get to the video, and then I'm going to see you tomorrow for day 2 of Vlogmas, and we're going to get the nails done, because after that we're going to film some tutorials. So after the hair and the nails, it's just going to be tutorials from here on out. So enjoy the video, and I'll see you tomorrow. So we're starting off the video with a little before of how the hair looks. This peachy kind of color is the old pillar box red, but I've let it fade out as much as I can. We're using the violet bleach. I just get this from what's called Priceline, and the violet, and it helps to tone the hair as it bleaches. We're using 10 volume developer. I'm starting off with 2 scoops, and then I just add the developer until it's the consistency that I want. When you get used to bleaching hair, you'll know what that consistency is. Not too thick, not too thin. You don't want it like water, but yeah, you'll see. So I always just mix it up, and then I let it sit for a bit because it will puff up and get thick, and then I add just a touch more, just a splash more of peroxide, and then it's usually the right consistency. If it continues to thicken up, I'll just add some more 10 volume. So I'm using thin sections and foil. We've got to make sure that we saturate the hair really thoroughly. So I'm spending a bit of time really brushing it in different directions to make sure that it goes all the way through to the back of the hair. You also want to make sure that the sections are thin enough that it is going all the way to the back. Also that your bleach is not too thick, otherwise it's just going to sit on top of the hair and not saturate it, and you're going to get an uneven result. So this process took ages. It took about probably an hour, and what I did was, as I moved up the head, I mixed up another bowl of 10 volume bleach, and then as I got to the top, I actually had a little bit of 30 volume, and I did use 30 volume in the top, because by the time you get to the top, it's nearly been an hour with it on the bottom. So we want to make the top process, you know, quicker, so it's all sort of processing at the same time. So the bottom was left on for about an hour, and then the top was left on for about 20 minutes. And here, when I have it over my face, I've got it like very slightly to the side, and I'm kind of looking around so I can see. I've slowed this down just a little bit from the time lapse, so you can see a little bit better how I really mash that bleach in and then fold it up. You also want to make sure that your foils are long enough that you're only folding sort of in half. You don't want to fold it up 3 or 4 times. Number 1, it could get too hot. Number 2, yeah, it could just, you can get lines where the bleach is like not really sitting on your hair because you've folded the foil. You'll get like a little pocket where the bleach is not sitting on it. So this is the last foil, all mashed in, and we're going to let it process. So it's finished processing, or I'm just sitting with my doggies. That's my dog now, asking to get on the couch while I'm doing this voiceover. It's Sizzle and Latte. So we just hung out while it was processing. And so now I'm taking it out. And what I always like to do is just smooth it over. And it just seems to, like, if there's just a little bit that's a little bit darker, it kind of just blends it in a bit. Especially like you might get a little dark patch, as I said, where you folded the foil. And I find by the time you've taken them all out, that little bit of bleach that you just smooth back over will help blend it all in. So we're going to do the whole head that way. And you can also see how the colour's going. As you can see down the bottom, we've still just got this dark gold kind of colour. I'd say it lightened up a little bit from what it was, but it's not, definitely not pale yellow. And also make sure you're wearing gloves because bleach really stings. If you get it on your hands, it's just a huge mess. So you can see there's quite an orange patch in the middle of that one. And what I did was I still had some 30 volume bleach sitting in the bowl. So I just popped that on top while we go through the rest of the hair. And you can see those first ones I've done, they're kind of really evening out as we're pulling the rest out. Again, that's quite an orange colour near the top, but I've probably bleached over the top of my natural hair again. And you can even see that very first strip is looking a bit more pale yellow now. So we'll let that sit and we'll just turn to the other side and take those out. Look very happy. That's my concentration face. Now I'm just washing my hands too because I've got bleach all over my hands. So you can just wear your gloves and then wash your hands and, you know, keep them on. Wash your hands and dry them with the gloves still on. Oh, and I put a towel over my shoulder because the hair is sitting on my clothes otherwise. I mean, if you're at the hairdresser's, you're going to have a cape on. But the cape was already, I'm not sure. I think my cape might have already been dirty from the first bleach round. So then we're just going to repeat the process on the other side. Alright, so I've finished mushing that all in. I'm just going through everything again. Just be careful you don't get bleach in your eyeballs. And now I'm going to wash it out. Oh, that's another look close up. You can see it looks a little more yellow now than orange. So now that we've washed it out, you can see it's a dark gold. But it is a little lighter than before. This is the hair dry. There are some lighter bits. You can see a little bit of pale yellow, especially on that angle. And we do see a bit of dark gold towards the roots and some dark gold in the front. So here's the colours I use. There's the brights that I've already showed you. And I use the medium brown 4, which is a permanent colour. I have had a little bit of greys in the front. So the only thing about permanent colour is grey coverage. And so that covered the couple of greys. Everything will still fade. As you can see with the brown, we are putting peroxide with it. The other colours go straight into a bowl with a brush. So we're going to section up. We're going to section up and we're going to do the brown first. So we go through and do the roots. And as I was flipping my hair backwards like that, I realized that some of the blonde had touched it. Usually that won't happen, but it's just that the roots are really long. So then we start with the blue down the bottom, the lightest color, then the purple, and then the pink. And I'm actually washing my gloves in between each color too, so that it doesn't get messy. And then I've put a piece of foil in the middle of my head, and I'm clipping the excess hair to the top of that, so it's not laying on top of the brown, because as soon as the brown touched the blonde, it started to color it. So the color's all in now, and I blended it by brushing it through just once with the comb. So it's all washed out now. You can see the pink, but yeah, when it was dry it wasn't that bright. And I'm going to put some mousse in. So this is the Frizz Ease mousse from John Frieda. It's just a supermarket one. And so I've got very wet hair, and I'm using one of those viral brushes. I got this one from Temu, and it helps you to get the curls. However, when I styled my hair for the intro of this video, I washed it. Actually, I saw an Instagram video. I don't know the fella's name, and I don't know if I can find it. But he has beautiful long curly hair. And he was showing, you know, like when you have curly hair and you brush it, it's just a pile of frizz. And so, like, I know to sort of detangle it while it's wet, scrunch it with a product in it like I'm showing, and these brushes help to separate the curls, and then you don't touch it. But today what I did to style my hair was, and what he showed, was to scrunch it while it's still under the water. So I put the conditioner in the shower, I combed it through in the shower with a wide tooth comb, and then I scrunched it while it was still wet to squeeze out the water. And then I got out of the shower and I sort of did this kind of thing, like I didn't brush it again, but I put the mousse in and then I scrunched it again. And I think also when you first color your hair, it's in a little bit of shock. So it can take, you know, a couple of weeks for your curl pattern to come back and for the color to fully settle. Even if you're having your hair highlighted or made darker, you won't see the final color for a couple of weeks. So I always say to my clients, if you're unhappy with the color, please just give it 1 week. If you still hate it after 1 week, then yes, of course, we'll change it. But you'll find, you know, 90% of the time, they'll still love it after 1 week. So this is the curl pattern I got with a straightener. I did my hair for an event. Thank you so much for joining me on Vlogmas Day 1, and if you liked the video, can you please like, subscribe, and you can visit me at bexcraftynook.com.au. Bye!